Well, good evening and Happy New Year to all. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, and City Council members, and the newly appointed City Manager and Police Chief. It's my great honor here to share with you some of the public comments that I have. I am Dr. Alvin Chung, the President and CEO of the California North State University. And I realize that we are not on the agenda tonight, but I would like to say a few words about our plans to build a teaching hospital adjacent to the campus in Elk Grove. First, we are in the very early stages of this project, which we announced on December 20th. And we are looking forward to input from many people and organizations as we go forward. Next, we are taking concrete steps to reach out to and work with business community, neighborhood leaders, and local organizations, as well as our ongoing work with the city. I want to be very clear about our commitment. We have a process established to work with each and every business tenant immediately impacted by the project, and we are meeting with them almost daily since our announcement. And then we are also in the process of handing out information flyers to help them to recognize how to reach out to us in case they have questions. And at the same time, we are exploring options with each and every one of them to create a win-win situation. And next, we have scheduled info sessions on January 15th with local neighborhood leaders to hear about their concerns and ideas. And this is not a one-off, but rather the beginning of an ongoing communication process and reach out to our community that we are part of. And now let me say something about the medical center. The California North State University Medical Center will be a state-of-the-art teaching hospital. Teaching hospitals are special places where medicine professors and specialists who are at the top of their field, and then it will deliver the high-quality care while educating future generations of physicians, and many of whom most likely may be members of this community. And then we're going to practice here in the city of Elk Grove and deliver care to this community. The medical center will also be eventually, after a long process, will be a level 2 trauma centers. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to address members of the council. Thank you. Yes?
Where do you plan on having the public outreach meeting then?
We are actually working with members of the city, and then most likely that we'll have it either at the University Event Center or other venues that suggested to us. We like to make it convenient for members of the community to have the sessions either on the university premise or other designated locations that is best, to communicate with members.
So if you can make sure that you get that date, time, and address to
Yes.
all of us, so that way we can make sure we get that blasted out as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for the suggestions and advice.
And Dr. Chung, I'd like to add to that, and I would encourage you to reach out to the Stone Lake Homeowner Association, because they're the closest affected.
Right, that is part of the plan. Thank you. That is part of our plan, yes.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, thank you for the time.
Level 2 Trauma Hospital in Stone Lake. I've been a resident of Elk Grove for over 20 years, and I've lived in the Sacramento area for pretty much my whole life, for 45 years. I moved to the Sheldon area looking for a quiet neighborhood after to raise my children in, and it was great for a while, but we had to move from there due to the daily helicopters circling the neighborhood, the increased traffic, noise, and safety concerns. We wanted to stay in Elk Grove because this was our city, and so we moved over to the Stone Lake neighborhood looking for respite from helicopters, traffic, noise, and increased safety. The building of this hospital, I feel, is going to disrupt my quiet neighborhood. I walk out to my car in the morning, I can hear birds and cows. That will not be able to happen with the proposed hospital. As a healthcare provider and a homeowner, I adamantly oppose this. I don't feel that Stone Lake is an appropriate area, a residential area with high-end homes for a level 2 trauma, eventual level 2 trauma hospital. I've worked for several healthcare organizations, including one of the largest ones in Northern California. I know what it's like to work in a trauma center. I know what it's like when the police put us on lockdown because a shooting victim has come in, and I don't feel that's appropriate for my family in the Stone Lake neighborhood. And I believe a lot of my neighbors are here to agree with me. I would like to see that this be more transparent. A lot of my neighbors and myself were blindsided by the announcement on the 20th of December and had no idea that there was a public forum that the university was putting on for business owners and residents on January 15th. That's news to me. We literally had no idea what was happening until we saw the announcement made by the mayor. I feel that that's going to negatively impact our neighborhood. There will be more police presence, which isn't always positive because they're going to be there for the trauma victims, shooting victims, and whatnot, just like they are in South Sacramento and around UC Davis as well. There needs to be thorough input from the public as well as other current emergency departments. Are they having issues with flow? Are they not able to meet the needs? I've been in and out of the Kaiser emergency room in 45 minutes for a child's broken arm, a child's broken leg. My kids play sports and they hurt themselves all the time. Never have had to be there for a long amount of time. So just want to make sure that the city is moving forward in a transparent manner. It doesn't feel like it's been very transparent. Speaking to the neighbors, speaking to business owners, no one knows what's going on. And we have not been notified as a neighborhood. I took it to my HOA as well. So thank you. Just looking for transparency.
Thank you, ma'am.
That is proposed for Elk Grove. I live a mile from this site. This is a residential community. There are small, local, and some chain businesses, but this is a very quiet area in Elk Grove. I'm extremely concerned with the amount of noise, traffic, and congestion and the overall imprint that this facility will have on this area. It would seem to me that there are several areas around Elk Grove that could be more appropriate for such a facility. If you look at the surrounding neighborhoods for the area where UC Davis Medical Center is located, both the violent and property crime rates are 60% higher than where we currently live and where this medical center is slated. I can't state with 100% certainty that the difference is the impact of UC Davis, but you cannot ignore the fact that homes in that area have a security gate surrounding their properties and bars on their windows. I moved here from San Francisco 20 years ago, and one of the things I instantly noticed about the Elk Grove area was an absence of small businesses. It seems that every corner and strip mall have the same cluster of the same types of stores and same shops and businesses. This project will display several small businesses that chose this area to invest their time and money to serve our community. While I understand that the city has a vision for the future of Elk Grove, I think that a successful, inclusive, community-based city should promote and protect our small business owners. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak.
Elizabeth Brown, come on up. Following Elizabeth Brown is Hazel Santos.
Thank you. Good evening. My husband and I are the owners of Dreaming Dog Brewery, and we would be displaced by the upcoming hospital. We have lived on the west side of Elk Grove for 25 years. And when we decided to open our brewery, we did 5 years of research, and we wanted to be on the west side because we live on the west side. It took a long time, 5 years of our own planning, lots of permits. It took CSD 3 months to approve our building permit. The city was really excellent to work with. They only took 2 weeks. For us to move a brewery requires 800 amps of power. It requires a roll-up door. We have a patio that is well served and used by our community. And It took 8 months for the TTB, which is our federal liquor license, to approve our license. And they need our architect's diagrams ahead of time. And with the federal government being shut down, I don't know how long that would take. On a regular time, it took 8 months. So you're talking a 2-year for someone to move and take care of us is a 2-year process minimum. I would like to acknowledge the Dreaming Dog patrons that have come out here to support us. We put our heart and soul into this business. This is our retirement. We finished the floors. We built the barn doors, the bar. We put the furniture together. We finished the floors. We did everything ourselves. And Dr. Chung said he has been in constant contact. We have had 1 point of contact, and that was initiated by us through our attorney from the university. We have heard nothing. We didn't know about the public meetings. They have not discussed anything with any of the business owners that I know of, including us. So in the end, I will say that I, as a small business owner, feel completely betrayed by the city of Elk Grove. That I trusted you to watch out for us. I believed that the city encouraged and wanted small businesses, but you have said that is okay until a bigger business with more money and more tax revenue comes in. And then we'll just find a place for you. There isn't a place for us. So I just want you to know that in the end, if Dreaming Dog Brewery goes down and goes out of business, I will look back at my time in Elk Grove with sadness instead of joy and regret instead of fulfillment. But I will be able to sleep at night and look at myself in the mirror knowing that I never lied to people and I never betrayed their trust. And I gave my all for the business and the west side of Elk Grove. And I am not sure you can do the same. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hazel Santos. Following Hazel is Barbara Patterson.
Good evening. I want to start by thanking our Elk Grove Police Department and our Leos for their service and sacrifice on this Law Enforcement Day. My family and I appreciate all of you for your hard work and your sacrifice. I am here to address the hospital that's being built in my quiet neighborhood of Stone Lake. I oppose this hospital being built in my backyard. I moved here from the city of Richmond in the Bay Area and chose to live in the quiet neighborhood of Stone Lake since 2001 because it was a family-friendly area. It had a great elementary school for any future children I was going to have and now have, and that it was near a reserve so that nothing was supposedly going to be built by our neighborhood. When I heard about this hospital being built literally right down the street, I was angry because it was very sneaky how its own residents of Elk Grove or our own Stone Lake community had no idea this hospital was being considered. There was nothing mentioned during Mayor Lee's campaign about a hospital being built in the Stone Lake area until he was confirmed mayor. I work in downtown and seen what having a hospital in a residential area can do. We, the employees, have emails about being good neighbors because people go out to smoke and leave their cigarette butts or garbage in their properties. It's not just the employees, but it's also patients. The traffic flow is high and people speed right through the neighborhoods. I've seen it. Also, the parking. People park in all of the areas of the neighborhoods around the UC Davis area. I am also saddened that after so many years, we finally have amazing restaurants and businesses in that area, such as the Dreaming Dog Brewery, the Stone Lake Nails Shop, Miyabi, the India Kitchen, the High Tea. I am saddened that these hard-working owners are going to lose out on their businesses that they worked so hard on investing here in Elk Grove and making it prosper to be demolished for this hospital. I am worried about all of these issues that will come about if this goes through. For the first time in 18 years, I am actually itching to move if this hospital will be built. I want to have property that have the same quiet, family-friendly atmosphere that my beloved Stone Lake community possesses. It sickens me that I live in a city where something this important was not presented to the very people they represent. It is very scheming of politicians who represent us to keep us in the dark. So shame on you.
The next speaker is Barbara Patterson. Barbara Patterson. Following Barbara is Paul Wagstaff.
I'm here.
I see you.
I'm slow. Sorry. I'm here, as you can see, to let this council know that as a homeowner in Elk Grove, I am adamantly against putting a hospital on West Terran. If the mayor of the city really had our best interests at heart, he would be steering these types of businesses to the eyesore area of the abandoned building skeletons at 99 and Grant Line. This monstrosity of a building would be less offensive there. There are other vacant lots available with better access that should be considered, ones that won't ruin property values and disrupt so many lives. Whoever envisioned that proposed building for the Stone Lake West Laguna region had obviously never visited our communities, or as I suspect, just doesn't care about what is better or best for Elk Grove property values. They are only thinking about their own bottom line and our campaign contributions. And as Dr. Chung doesn't even have the respect for us to stay and listen to what we have to say, it speaks volumes to how much he wants to work with our community. There are 2 other hospitals that I understand are being built in the Elk Grove area. We don't need this hospital. I find it interesting that this proposition was never made public until after the contributions were made to the mayor's candidacy and completed election. The owners of the hospital are saying that they hope to break ground this year. It is obvious to everyone here that the process is much further along than we have been made aware of. Seems very underhanded and sneaky, but more importantly, it is the severe adverse effect that a hospital there will have on the residents and safety of the people. We currently have minimal policing in our area because it is always relatively safe. That will change drastically. The cost will be great to the city. The traffic and noise will be unbearable. The idea of widening the streets in the Stone Lake community is totally unacceptable. I hope that the council and the planning commission will do the right thing and not approve this project.
Our next speaker is Paul Wagstaff.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of City Council. Maybe it's good to look back on how this meeting started. Jason Berman, congratulations on your appointment as City Mayor. To quote the City Manager at his first meeting as City Manager, Elk Grove is an amazing city. I don't know how many cities give their citizens the opportunity to be able to voice their comments this early in the process to the City Council. But it's so nice to be able to do that. And believe me, Dr. Chung did not leave out of disrespect. Instead, he asked that I remain here, take notes, and listen to our citizens, and we have.
I'm sorry, Paul. If you want to speak, sign the card. Otherwise, please allow Mr. Wagstaff to speak.
What I've noted today is Ms. Sandu talking about helicopters, traffic, noise, and increased safety. That Ms. Robinson talking about crime rates and small businesses. Ms. Brown talking about a time frame of 2 years to be able to set up her business, Dreaming Dog, which is truly an amazing thing for them to have done at this point in their lives. Our point right now is that we believe that this early in the process, and I would again like to mention to the City Council and remind the Mayor and the City that the application to begin this process was the day before the press conference on December 20th. And now we are at the very beginning of this process, and we too would like the city to consider all of these points. We will consider it because we believe that the hospital should be done in a manner that will consider the points raised by these wonderful citizens and prevent them from being blindsided because it is so early in the process. Our plan is to have forums. We discussed that already. Again, not to do a he said, she said with Ms. Brown, but she knows there has been a point of contact. In fact, on the very day of the press conference, I met with the Browns from the university, and there has been a conversation with her attorney. I agree with that. That process is beginning and it's getting started. We've talked to a number of the Stone Lake tenants already. We have a plan in place to consider what all of their needs are. Take all of those needs into consideration, try to have them be able to stay on the property if that's available, but also work with them in trying to give them a Stone Lake happy landing if that's possible. Finally, I think the most important thing to mention here is respect for the homeowners in the city in which they've chosen to live. At the same time, decreasing the distance from a hospital from 20 minutes to 5 minutes for a person undergoing a heart attack or a stroke can be a lifesaver, and it can better their lives once those lives are saved. We want to make sure that we keep that in mind as we go through this process. My gratitude to the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wagstaff. Our next speaker is Constance Connolly.
Congratulations. As I privately supported you, I publicly support you today. There's going to be times that we're just not going to get along. There's going to be times that people are going to tell you things that you're not going to like, and tonight's one of them. Quite frankly, I'm a little pissed off. As all of you know, that my roots are on the east side. That's where I grew up. That's where I live. Occasionally, I've moved or traveled and gone to businesses on the west side. I watched the Dog and Pony show, and quite frankly, afterwards, all I can say is that you all were propped up and became props. There was no interaction with the citizens, not one, other than the ones invited. Yes, there has been rumors about a hospital possibly doing this or that, but this is huger than rumors. You know, there was dissent about the casino being built where it proposed site is. However, there wasn't any homes directly in and around that property. Now there's homes being built close to the proximity. I came in support of the potential of the module that was going to be built right next to homes, and I said to you then, and I say to you tonight, it is unfortunate that we have a city that was laid out by the County Board of Supervisors and the first sitting Elk Grove Council. But you guys you council members and the mayor have a chance not to allow a big monstrosity to end up in people's backyard. It's ridiculous. The mayor wanted a hospital in his election. I get that we need a hospital on the I-5 corridor. There isn't one from North Stockton to Sacramento. I understand the importance of it. I really do. But it does not need to be built where the proposed site is. And for somebody to get up here as a PR, that's bull. That's absolutely ridiculous and disrespectful to the citizens of Elk Grove. I don't know these people. I've been in their establishments once or twice. This is going to be a fight, and you better figure out if you want to be part of it and what side of history you want to be on. Because by God, the citizens own those seats. and you need to figure out if you want to continue.